Get up, you son of a bitch!
Cause Pawn's drunk loves ya.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. It's getting chippy out here in the quarter box. It's getting chippy.
And I'll see it, and you lay it. Crossovers, spin move, jump shot, change. The voice of Harlem. Yes, indeed. Let me tell you what I need.
It's getting chippy out here in the quarter box. It's getting chippy, it's getting chippy, getting
No
chippy.
50, no game, no game. I am the I keep it tight. We're all
Hey, yo, DJ, switch it up, DJ. Switch it up, DJ. Switch it up, DJ. Switch it up, DJ.
Man, they show no love. Punch drunk, punch drunk, punch drunk.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Wake up to the new me. Bye-bye to my old self. Wake up to
Switch
the
it up,
new
switch
me.
it up, switch it up, switch it up.
Wake up to the new me.
Yo, punching, yay, they ain't gonna shut us down. They ain't gonna shut us down.
Wake up to the new me. Bye-bye to my old self. Wake up to the new me. Back then they showed no
Smash that like button right now, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like.
Punch drunk, hungover. Wake up to the new me.
Let's get ready to
Bye-bye to my old self.
Who winning? Who winning? Zayas, Boots. Who's winning? Who's winning? Hold up in the building.
Let's get ready to
Wake up to the new me. Bye-bye to my old self. Wake up to the new me.
Dímelo, mi gente. You already know this is Pawn's Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo Shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the audio is good. Cole in the building. Low nose boxing in the building. What's good? What's good? Boxing community in the building. Oh, we talking boxing now. Yo, punch. You know what I'm saying? Yo, punch. Why you don't talk more boxing and shit? Well, come on, punch, man. I want you to talk more about boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? The X's and O's and stuff like that. The technique and all that, man. I'm here for boxing, man. So, I don't want to hear about my Clarissa Champagne, Pusa 50 Cent, and Remy Ma and stuff like that. Come on, man. Go back to boxing. Go back to boxing. We got 8 people looking on. Stop it. YouTube said, yo, punch. Boxing, hardcore boxing is not all of that. That's what YouTube telling me. Hey, yo, that's what YouTube is telling me in the recommendation. Hey, punch, stop. We're not going to recommend your channel, damn it. You keep on talking about this little boxing stuff. Nobody cares about that niche sport. Talk about what's gossip. Talk about what's good. Talk about what people want to hear. Yeah. Shout out to the ladies. The ladies, women boxing is lit too. Shout out to Caroline Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Caroline Dubois. Shout out to Alicia Bob Garnish and Deja Green. Gonna be performing April 17th next week. Madison Square Garden, baby. Madison Square Garden. April 17th. The queens are out. The queens come out at night. I ain't talking about Clarissa Shields. I ain't say that drag queens come out at night. I ain't say that. But Brooklyn, New York is on fire today. Shout out to all the boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, BX. You feel me? Staten Island, Wu-Tang. Yeah, Xander Zayas, the Puerto Rican pride, Xander Zayas. Everybody been talking about who's going to be the next guy that's going to be the poster boy of Puerto Rican boxing. Who's going to be the next poster boy? They like that. Super Matias, I knew he was not going to be. I know there going to be people out there going to be, yo, punch, tú eres puertorriqueño, nene. Tú no eres puertorriqueño, tú no puedes decir lo que los otros vamos a tener. Oíste, tú eres dominicano, vete para allá y dime lo que va a hacer Carlos Dalama. Oíste, tú no vas a venir para Puerto Rico, Carolina y Aguadilla y Bayamón y decime quién va a ser la cara de Puerto Rico. Oh, yes, I will. Damn it. Because we cousins. We first cousins. We first cousins. I got to say, damn it. A lot of Dominicans be putting in work in Puerto Rico just like the Haitians be putting work in Dominican Republic. We the labels work out there in Puerto Rico. But we've been trying to figure out because we understand that Puerto Rican boxing, especially I'm from New York City, y'all already know, tri-state area, everybody, I already know when Puerto Rican boxing is lit, hey, yo, the city lit. The reason I'm gonna tell you like this, hey, yo, if you from New York City, Philly, New York City, Massachusetts, Northeast, y'all know what I'm talking about. Shout out to my Northeast in the building. Y'all know, you know why boxing, I noticed this. And this is a fact, because I'm New York bred, born all day, every day, fitted Timbs, you know what I'm saying? Air Force One hoodie, you know what I'm saying? Hookah body. Hey. I now understand why in New York, it feels like boxing is not lit. It's been a while, like, damn, yo, boxing... I don't know. You go to the barbershop, nobody want to talk about boxing. You go in the streets, nobody talk. Hey, yo, none of my peoples outside of this community in the YTBC, they don't talk about boxing and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you when New York City, the last time it was lit, when people was talking about boxing, when people was going to the lounge in the bar. I'm gonna tell you the last time, bro. And everybody was hitting me up. I'm talking about bartenders, promoters. Hey, yo, Punch, I know you know about boxing. Yo, you're going to come through tonight? I was getting calls that I haven't got calls. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I was getting calls that I haven't got calls or DMs or text messages since damn it, Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G. I got man calls when it was Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. People, even when I was live, people were showing me when I was live doing the fight. People were showing me live. The whole block was getting shut down. The whole block, they were doing parties, lounges. All my peoples that promote, all my people was having parties, bro. Every bar was watching Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo Alvarez. And not because Edgar Berlanga is just one of the greatest that ever lived or the greatest of the generation or a pound-for-pound fighter. It's because the pride of Puerto Rico was back on the scene. I don't care if you're a fan of Edgar Berlanga or not, but let me tell you like this. Motherfuckers support Edgar Berlanga. They support him. And with the hip-hop culture, the Spanish hip-hop culture, the Puerto Ricans, the island, because he goes back and forth from the island over there. They have ties. He's not like this New Rican, Puerto Rican and stuff like that. Let me tell you something about Puerto Rico and New York City, the Puerto Rican culture in boxing in New York City. Once you have a Puerto Rican fighter that is lit, that they got some type of poder, damn, I think he's the one. They will come out of support. Richardson Hitchens from Brooklyn, New York, but let me tell you like this. He don't get the support that Edgar Berlanga get. You know what I'm saying? Put it this way. A lot of people thought that even Teofimo Lopez was Puerto Rico coming out. Because there was already no Puerto Rican fighters outside of Amanda Serrano. You know how, man, look at how Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Why? Hey, yo, where Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano was fighting? 2 out of the 3 fights, where they was fighting? New York City. Is Amanda Serrano the champion versus Katie Taylor? No, Katie Taylor is the champion. Katie Taylor did overseas and all that. But they needed to fight at Madison Square Garden, sold out crowd, Puerto Rican Irish. The third fight, where was it? Madison Square Garden, sold out. When Puerto Rican boxing, where that boxer is showing a potential or is great. If they're showing potential or is great, Puerto Rican boxing, and New York City, Philly, everybody is in the building. When, hey, yo, let me say it like this. Danny Swift Garcia versus Keith on Tom Thurman. Check out the numbers over here in the Barclays Center. That was almost sold out. Because that's what's been missing. I'm thinking it's just people just lost the itch for boxing. But I've been living in the era of, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that old with the Hector Camacho. I'm a little young, but I know who Hector Camacho, Spanish Harlem. Lit, Tito Trinidad, lit, Cotto, lit, Amanda Serrano, lit. So when that space of Cotto and a male Puerto Rican fighter, there's a gap. That's when it felt that Puerto Rican, it felt that boxing wasn't lit. No, it's because in this side of the fence, just like out there in the West Coast, just like there in the West, I think that people will understand me. Just like there in the West Coast, Mexicano, Mexico, California, Nevada, Arizona. But on this side of the fence, Puerto Rican boxing rules. And as a Dominican, I know it. Hey, yo, I turned Puerto Rico. I'm turned Puerto Rican, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, we turned Puerto Rican just like it was a Puerto Rican Day Parade. When there's a Puerto Rican Day Parade, yo tengo mi bandera, yo soy puertorriqueño ese día. Nene. The only time that we like this, going head-to-head pause, is in baseball. But other than that, man, we love each other. There's so many mixed Dominicans and Puerto Rican family, man, there is in anything. Who's your dad? Yo, Dominicano. Who's your mom? Puerto Rican. Xander Zayas is setting the tone outside of Amanda Serrano, because Amanda Serrano been holding it down, but she's a queen. They need a king. Puerto Rican boxing need a king. I mean, the queen can't do it all by herself. She's been holding it down after Cotto. Qué bonita bandera, qué bonita bandera, qué bonita bandera, la bandera puertorriqueña. Even people be like, hey, yo, but punch, but damn, man, why you don't be supporting the Dominican fighter? I do support the Dominican fighter, but they get to they get to certain fights that they're not gonna win that fight. Yo, punch, pero tú eres dominicano. Why you don't support Edo de los Santos versus Shakur Stevenson? Porque Shakur Stevenson le va a meter la mano a ese tigre. Yo, but you Dominican, why you don't support Hector Luis Garcia versus Javante Sandavis? Porque Javante Sandavis le va a meter la mano a ese tigre. You think I'm no liar over here? I ain't no liar. I tell the truth at the end of the day. Well, you don't support Javier Fortuna versus Ryan Garcia porque Ryan Garcia le va a meter la mano a ese tigre. Dime, what happened? They put us too many times in a disadvantage. I didn't think too much about Subriel Matias because let me tell you like this, Subriel Matias was catering to the Mexican fans. That's what it is. That's why a lot of Puerto Ricans wasn't really into Subriel Matias, because Subriel Matias was on the West Coast, and there is a Mexican-Puerto Rican rivalry in the traditional rivalry in the sport of boxing. You was out there coming out with Mexican songs. Go to his last fights. I'm talking about before he became champion. He was out there with his trainer, Puma. He was training in Puerto Rico, coming out with Puerto Rican songs. He wasn't coming with a Puerto Rican bandera. A lot of people didn't even know what was he. Yo, when you wasn't going for how Jason Rosario versus Chemo Cholo, porque le va a meter la mano a ese tigre, ¿qué va a happen? I gotta tell the truth. But this fight right here, if you would have told me, what's good, Michelle, what's good, my brother, los members. I was telling, yo, what's good? Shadow in the building, Shadow Ghost in the building. What's good, Shadow? There would never be another Tito. He the only fighter my family was emotionally invested in. My uncles and Ponce always threw parties when Tito fought. The only thing that is needed was Xander Zayas, and I've been saying it for a while. And I'm thinking the reason why Boots Ennis, which I called a long time ago, you familiar with the channel? Damn it, yo! Hey, folks, I got an eye for talent, bro. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what their teams think. I got an eye for talent early, bro. This is your boy Punch right here, bro. And Shadow Ghost, no, because Shadow Ghost's been following the channel for a long time. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. This is us right here, bro. This is us right here, bro. 17 years old. Save it, 7. Hey, yo, this me showcasing Xander Zayas, 17, 18 years old. We talking about Xander Zayas for a while. What about Boots? Y'all know in this community, Punch on boxing. Y'all know in this community, hold on. Ain't nobody was talking about Boots but your boy. Ain't nobody talking about Boots but your boy. Hold on. Let me see where we at. Where we at, Boots? Where we at, Boots? Hold on. Where we at, Boots? We doing live commentaries on Boots fights. We doing live commentary on Boots fights. Ain't nobody doing live commentary. I'm doing live commentary, 5 people looking on and stuff like that. Hold on. Come on, Boots. Boots no Punch. Punch no Boots. He know. Damn, it's 6 years ago. We talk about Boots and look at the potential matchup. We're gonna be talking. Look at this is shit. What? This is almost 7 years. This is 7 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. 7 years ago, your boy Punch on boxing. I know boxing. Look where we at today. I know boxing. I know who will be who will become. I know boxing. I know a little crazy. I know, a little drunky. But a drunk man tells the truth. I said that Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. And I said that he's going to become a 4 to 5 division world champion. And what did Eddie Hearn say in the recent interview? We're going to be talking about Eddie Hearn, what he said today. But Eddie Hearn said he's going to capture world titles at 147, 154, 160, 168. I said that 7 years ago. Eddie Hearn didn't even know what Boots was. He thought it was a cartoon, Puss in Boots. He didn't know who Boots was. Not even YSM knew who Boots was. Not even the channel YSM. He didn't even know who Boots was. Punch on boxing. I guess he is the one that been talking about Boots. Well, his family, like, yo, good doing interviews with my son because it's gonna get him, used to when he get in position and when he becomes a star and stuff like that, he's going to be doing interviews. He's going to be used to it. He wasn't doing interviews. I was the first guy in the YTBC doing interviews with Boots. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they don't fuck with me. I think that's why they don't want. I think that's why they don't F with me no more, because there's other YouTube channels that they be in people's ears. Don't fuck with Punch. Yo, don't mess with Punch. Don't mess with Punch. Yo, he's only effing with Latinos. Don't F with Punch. They told me about motherfuckers out here. They already told me. Hey, let me say like this: the small community. I know what every boxing content creators tell me. The boxers come around me and tell me, bruh. The boxers come back around and tell me what these guys be saying. Hey, yo, these other YouTube boxing content creators, they be telling fighters not to F for me. Shit is weird. Shit is weird out here, bro. I never do that, bro. I would never try to be like, yo, don't mess with him, bro. Don't mess with him. Facts. But I said, if you would have asked me 2 years ago about this fight, Xander Zayas versus Jaron Boots Ennis, I'd be like, man, Jaron Boots Ennis is going to whoop him. But Xander Zayas is getting stronger, faster, more experience, more confident, walking into his man strength. And you could see it. You could see Xander Zayas today, and you could see Xander Zayas 2 years ago. You could see this guy is a man now. He's a man. And the thing about Xander Zayas is that now it got me looking at this fight like a 50-50 fight. Yeah, I look at it as a 50-50 fight. Because I think that both of these guys want this fight for different reasons. Yet, they will sing the same tune. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Both of these guys want this fight for different reasons, in my opinion, but they will sing the same tune because it does look, hey, I want to be a champion. Hey, I'm going for the unified champion. I'm going after the guy that's really the guy. No. Xander Zayas could have picked to wait on Fundora versus Thurman. He could have went to Josh Kelly. He could have called out anybody. He's in position. Xander Zayas, and now with the new deal, they got a budget. He's in position to be like, you know what? Let's get another. As a matter of fact, let's get a homecoming, not a homecoming. He had a homecoming unification bout, but let's get another fight in Puerto Rican Dead Parade. You know what I'm saying? And let me get an easy fight. Let me knock these people out and let me enhance my stardom. Let me enhance. Xander Zayas won Boots because he wants to respect that he's the best. Xander Zayas, he just wasn't knocking on Boots' door. Let's not forget that he said, yes, I'm here. I want the Virgil Ortiz. Pick me, pick me. I mean, Puerto Rico right here. I want that Virgil Ortiz right here. And Virgil Ortiz and his team picked Madrimov because they felt that Madrimov was a better opponent in which they was going to get better props because how Madrimov performed versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Xander Zayas was already ready for Virgil. Pick me. I'm here. I ain't here, right here. See, Puerto Rico right here. Okay, Coquito right here. He was ready. Xander Zayas could have picked any opponent right now. He got voluntary bouts. He already got a unification bout. He got no mandatories. He got a voluntary bout. This is voluntarily. This is a voluntary bout for Xander Zayas. And Mina, who he picks, Boots. You think Boots really wanted to pick Xander Zayas? No. Matter of fact, yes. He picked Xander Zayas, not because in my opinion, he's picking Xander Zayas, not because he's daring to be great. He's picking Xander Zayas because he thinks that Xander Zayas is the weakest link. And that mentality right there, I feel is going to shoot him in the butt. Pause. I think he's fighting Xander Zayas and he can say, I'm fighting for the belts. No. I think he's fighting Xander Zayas because he feels he's the weakest link. I'm going to tell you like this. Who's the boogeyman several months ago? Come on, y'all. Y'all know boxing. Who was the boogeyman in a 154-pound division? Who's the boogeyman? Let's be real, let's be honest. Let's be real, let's be honest. In the 154-pound division, the most stacked division, the most dangerous division in the sport of boxing, who was the boogeyman just several months ago? Come on now, say it in the chat. Come on, let's engage. Engagement, please, engagement. Engagement. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. We talking boxing today. This is what y'all wanted. Oh, we're going to be talking about Clarissa Shields and her pitbull and her butt. Damn it. Ortiz, he was not the boogeyman. Thank you, bounce back. Thank you, bounce back. It was Bakram. Bakram was the boogeyman. Bakram was the boogeyman. Let's be real, yes, Davo, tell him. Yes, it was. Several months ago, Bakram, the man that beat Tim Tszyu from pillar to post, was the boogeyman at 154. Everybody, all the pundits, these Russian fighters, and they was already trying to compare Bakram to Baturbiev of the 154-pound division. Come on, we know boxing. Dime la mi hermano, right? Did Jaron Boots Ennis team, Eddie Hearn at the time, gave a deal to Josh Kelly below, and Josh Kelly, remember I was going to have an interview with Josh Kelly, and I got in contact with Josh Kelly's team and stuff like that, and they told me that they was getting offered less money to fight Boots in Philadelphia, less money than what he earned in a prelim fight with Turkey Al Sheikh. He said that they was offering me pennies, but they offered Josh Kelly a fight. When Josh Kelly ain't had no belt, when Josh Kelly in this community or in the boxing world didn't have momentum, even though he had a first-round KO, people was not talking about Josh Kelly the way that your boy Punch on Boxing was talking about Josh Kelly. Espera. Wait a minute. Porque yo sé de boxeo, mi hermano. I know boxing. This is it. I talk about Josh Kelly long time ago. Look at this. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Josh Kelly. Future mega fight. What was it? April 24, 2019. Almost 7 years ago. Yo sé de boxeo. I know boxing, my friends. And I was the one. Go. If y'all follow me on Twitter, hey, yo, that's the fight that I've been talking about. Everybody been following Punch on Boxing. Y'all know who picked Josh Kelly to beat Bak. I mean, who picked Josh Kelly to beat Bakram. 90% of the boxing world didn't think that Josh Kelly could do it. But your boy Punch on Boxing, you'll be like, yo, watch. Bakram only got a left hook. If that left hook don't land, it's nothing. He ain't good. Josh Kelly got the footwork, got the technique, got the experience, the pedigree. He gonna beat him. No, you're not. You crazy. Josh Kelly is a bum. He's gonna get knocked out in 3 rounds. No. And then Josh Kelly rolls. And one of the owner of a soccer stadium say that Josh Kelly his next fight will be in a stadium. Josh Kelly beat the boogeyman at 154. Josh Kelly beat the boogeyman at 154. Josh Kelly, Eddie Hearn said it. Josh Kelly already signed up for the Boots fight. Tell me I'm lying or I'm telling the truth. Did Eddie Hearn say Josh Kelly already signed up for the Boots fight? I ain't no liar. Hold on. No, porque fact checky, ¿verdad? Let's do it fact checky. Fact checky. Fact check. Based on reports from early 2026, Eddie Hearn stated that Josh Kelly had signed a contract to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Hearn indicated that Kelly was a primary option and the deal was finalized following Kelly's IBF title win, positioning him as a potential opponent for Ennis' move to the 154-pound division. So why Boots Ennis didn't fight Josh Kelly? Why would Boots Ennis want to fight Josh Kelly after Josh Kelly beat the supposed to be most dangerous man at 154 in the boogeyman? Thus, picking Xander Zayas, in my opinion, because he thinks that Xander Zayas is the weakest link. He's young. Xander Zayas have not had this statement performance in which danger calls. He hasn't beaten a world beater. He's young, still not even in his prime. That's why I believe that Boots picked Xander Zayas when there was already a contract on the table signed by Kelly to fight him. But he was winning of Josh Kelly before Josh Kelly beat Bakram. So it's not that Josh Kelly doesn't have a belt. Oh, yeah, he has a belt. It's not that Josh Kelly's not bringing in money. Oh, yeah, they both were Matchroom and the new deal. That's bringing it. That's in-house money right there. New money. The Zone just locked it. I mean, Matchroom just locked a 5-year extension. More budget, more money. Same team, stable mate. And a stadium fight out there in the UK. Dímelo high-low. Dímelo con los 2 pesos de plátano. This moonshine got to be great, better than Frosted Flakes. So I say Xander Zayas is picking Jaron Boots Ennis because he's daring to be great. Xander Zayas is picking Jaron Boots Ennis because he want to prove to the world that he's just more than just a unified title holder. He want to set a tone. He want to truly go for greatness. He's 23 years old. Boots wasn't making this move at 23 years old. His team wasn't making this move at 23 years old. A lot of teams won't be making this move at 23 years old. They just locked in a contract deal with. Why would they now just get Xander Zayas right away and push him to Boots? At 154, where you can get any opponent, there's a lot of money to be made at 154. Let me tell you like this. If you're a matchmaker of your promotional company, you pay your cards right, there's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of opponents. There's a lot of things you could do at 154, especially with a young. You can't outage Xander Zayas. I think Jaron Boots Ennis picked Xander Zayas because he and his team believe that he is the weakest link. And I think that right there pushes this fight, in my opinion, because that's what they say. Everything is about, skills, talent, but is more more mental than physical, right? That's what they say in sport, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not in Jaron Boots Ennis' mind. I'm not in Jaron Boots Ennis' mind. I mean, look, Boots Ennis did avoid the virtual tees twice with the money that was on the table and stuff like that. He wanted to pick the weakest links of the Stanionis of the world. Let's be real. Let's be honest. I like Jaron Boots Ennis. I believe that, man, but I also think that Jaron Boots Ennis, the way that they have structured his career, it walks on eggshells, in my opinion. I'm not going to say Jaron Boots Ennis. I'm going to say the team. Remember, a lot of people always going to blame the fighters for, oh, he's ducking this, he's ducking that. But in all actuality, it's the other people that's getting a percentage as well. It's the investors. You don't put all this money to invest and then to lose, right? His manager wants an investment. His team wants an investment. He wants his career. They want to keep on winning. There's no such thing in the sport of boxing right now, ladies and gentlemen. The notion of high risk, high reward is no mas in the sport of boxing. There is no such thing in boxing as high risk, high reward. I'm not going to say that it's still not a business model there or a mentality there for certain things, but in all actuality, not for the most part. Half of it could be. But it's not like, oh, yo, you got to fight the best to get the most money. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Devin Haney got more fighting Jorge Linares than fighting George Camboso. Devin Haney got more fighting Jose Ramirez than he did with Vasily Lomachenko. Social media, internet popularity has changed the game. Yeah, it changed the game. So for the most, it's like Boots is gonna get his money regardless. If he got minimums and stuff like that, it's probably $2 to $3 million. Put it this way: high risk, high reward. Look, we talking about Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. How much Golden Boy Promotion was gonna give Virgil Ortiz to fight Jaron Boots Ennis? What was he's arguing? Why they going to court and all that stuff? $3 million, right? $3 million. His manager, Virgil Ortiz's manager, Rick, said that he got $4.5 million to fight Madrimov in the Bo Chucks of the world. But the mega fight is high risk, high reward. Is Jaron Boots Ennis? He was going to get $3 million. So, is it really in the sport of boxing high risk and high reward? No. No. David Benavidez got more fighting Anthony Yarde than fighting David Morrell. David Benavidez got more fighting Anthony Yarde than Kalen Plant. Good looking out, Timu Heyman. It all falls on the fighter. The manager and promoter work for the fighter. It's not really like that. It's not really like that, Pancho. Everybody got a contract. They got a contract with the manager and the fighter. It sounds good. The managers want to say that. The promoters want to say that. But in all actuality, these guys can't do whatever they want to do. If it's like that, if the fighters want to do whatever you want to do, where's Virgil Ortiz? Virgil Ortiz want this. His promoter say nope. Yeah, I know. I seen that, Davo. Any boxing fan in the building. What's good, man? What's good, brother? Shout out to the members. If you haven't become a member of the Punch Drunk Boxing, my brothers, come on, man. We put in work out here. Going on 7-8 years, bro. Come on now. Come on. You telling me that your boy, the work is not good enough, man? How many videos we got? Come on now. Like, nah, I got to pop my collar, bro. I got to pop my collar because I want to see who the real supporters is at. I want to know if my work is valued. That's all I want to know. I want to know if my work is valued. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all, you know what they say, what Floyd Mayweather said. Floyd Mayweather said, work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? Work hard. Work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? Like I told the people, 2026. I said 2026, Punch Drunk Boxing. We changing our mindset. I want to give the people what they want. I got to see the reciprocation of my work. If I put out a video, put it this way, ladies and gentlemen, if I put out a video and it's Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, and we saying technical wise how they're gonna win, and it gives me 300 views, then that means my audience doesn't want me to talk about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. We're gonna put them in the back burner. I'm gonna tell you how things are gonna work for 2026 and moving on. Low nose, hey, high, low, female, color, beso de plátano. Mr. Moon trying to keep all activity in the sport of boxing. Good looking out. Heyman punch. Did you see Wilder hammer fist on Chisora? Of course. I was going for Deontay Wilder. Yes, sir. I'm proud. I think of Deontay Wilder back in the mix. At the top level, in the top, you know what I'm saying? In the heavyweight division, it just makes boxing even better, especially in this side of the pond, because we don't know who's coming out as a heavyweight in America. We need Deontay Wilder. I don't give a damn what anybody say. We need Deontay Wilder. But what I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all, I said it leading up to 2026. I want to give people what they want, right? They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I love boxing. I check out the amateur circuit. I watch boxing. Y'all watch. If I'm up, I'm thinking about boxing. I'm watching boxing. I do film study. This is my hobby. And I know I could do way more on this channel, but also I'm not just gonna do videos and nobody want to watch. I'm not gonna talk about certain fighters and nobody gonna support. So remember, I am the only way that I know that my work is being, my content creation is being supported is by views, is by sharing, is by liking, is by donation, is by super thanks, is by super thanks, super chat, is by, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way I know. Hey, yo, Punch. Yo, I like your shit. Yo, y'all can email me too, bro. Y'all think that there's to be a content, y'all should talk about or share or understand. Yo, but we all a family out here. We all a family, right? But just like anything in life, you want to be productive. I want to be productive 2026 and moving forward. So if I'm talking certain things and they let me know through views and not showing love in the lives and not, then I'm gonna be like, all right, we're not gonna talk about this. This is not for me. Let another channel talk about it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel that by this time y'all can't support and be a member of all the work I put in, then you letting me know, all right, new strategy, Punch, your work is not good. As a matter of fact, I tell you the truth. I would have media credentials to go to the Boots and to the Boots and Xander Zayas. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I want to sleep, bro. I don't know if people are gonna support. I don't know. The old Punch Drunk Boxing would have been shit. I'll throw my camera hot, Xander's eyes. What do you think about this? Boots, what do you think? Eddie Irwin. But anyway, what I'm saying, I'm just going to give back what I get. You feel me? That's fair, right? That's fair, right, my brothers and my sisters? That's fair, right? I can only give, you know what I'm saying? That's like me going to a barbecue and cooking and making lettuce, tomatoes, and stuff like that for a bunch of people. Now, man, I'm here for the barbecue, bro, and the chicken and the barbecue and the honey barbecue and all that stuff, man. Don't give me no damn Saturday, ain't no damn vegan. But I think this is a good fight. Xander Zayas versus Jaron Boots Ennis. I like the courage. I like the cojones. I like how Xander Zayas is moving. And I think that Xander Zayas understand the market as well. I think Xander Zayas and his team understand that at the end of the day, this is boxing. And the purity of boxing and boxing fans. And I say this a lot of times. What's good, Gomes? And I say this all the time. The boxing fans gonna have their fans. They're gonna have their hate. The boxing fans is gonna have their favorite fighter, their favorite style, their favorite approach. They're gonna dislike a fighter. They're gonna hate how a fighter talks and promotes. They're gonna hate how a fighter fights. But one thing that a boxing fan or combat sports fan appreciate, whether they like you or whether they hate you, is effort. I always say this: effort. A boxing fan identifies when you're going all out. In the end of the day, a real boxing fan just want to see a fight. That's it. They want to see a fight. That's it. They could like you, they could hate you. Come fight night. They want to see a fight. It's almost like the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, the trilogy. Oh my God, we all know most of us did not like the way that Deontay Wilder took that ass whooping from Tyson Fury the second fight, and the way that Deontay Wilder was complaining and butchering and because of risk, it was every excuse in the book, and the Watergate and the glove gate and the racism, and he's white and I'm black and that's the reason and all that. Oh, man, people did not like Deontay Wilder. But that night, after the fight, Deontay Wilder got more respect. Losing to Tyson Fury the way that he lost. It's not that he just gave in. Oh, Deontay Wilder went out there for the win. He went out there. He knocked down Tyson Fury twice. He went out on his shield like he wanted to do. That's all he wanted to do. After the fight, people respected Deontay Wilder more than they forgot about all the shit that he said until he brought it back up leading up to the Derek Chisora. But if Deontay Wilder would have kept his mouth shut about all that shit, people respect it. After that fight, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you like this: that's the last best heavyweight bout that I've seen. I was entertained by the Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder, but the last best entertaining back and forth, I think that's one of the best. And people are not going to say it right now because, of course, when these fighters are still active, people rather love them a lot or hate them a lot, and they're never going to give these fighters their just due, just like Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, damn, I miss Floyd Mayweather. The more time go by, I actually do miss Floyd Mayweather in his prime in the sport of boxing. Right? People used to call Floyd Mayweather, you boring, yo. You don't fight him, man. Yeah. Look at his resume. Man, yeah. He was fighting people. Comparing what these guys are doing today, yeah. I want Floyd Mayweather back. I'm good with a 37 Floyd Mayweather here today. I'm good. I miss Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they say, you love them or you appreciate them when they're gone. People are gonna be talking about that trilogy in the history. People are gonna go back into that. That Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury trilogy was fucking good. That's a fight that I could go back and watch. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of fights in this era that I could be like, yo, man, I could go back and watch that. I could go 20, I could be 50 years old, 60 years old. And I'll be like, you know what? Let's talk about heavyweights. Let's talk about, I'm going to watch that fight again. That's a fight that I could watch again. It was entertaining. So, the Deontay Wilder, I like the fight. Boots versus Xander Zayas, I think is a 50-50 fight. You could say maybe 55-45 towards Boots in terms of overall skill set, but you can't tell me looking at the resume that he did anything special resume-wise. Boots Ennis hasn't done anything special resume-wise. And if a guy that I've been preaching about Boots since day one, it got to the point where, all right, Boots, you the man. Yo, show them you the man. Yo, you this, you that, you this, you that. Okay, man. Randy, you know what I'm saying? When you get an opponent, at this point, I got to hold back a little bit. Because now Jaron Boots Ennis is what? 28? 29? 28 gonna be 29? At this point, you already should have been a 3-division world champion when I was talking about it 7 years ago. Shakur Stevenson is a 4-division world champion. Devin Haney is a 3-division world champion. Teofimo Lopez is a 2-time lineal champion, 2-division lineal champion. I mean, Jaron Boots Ennis is and he started his career the same year they started their career. Xander Zayas is 23 years old. He already unified the titles. You unified the titles last year. So it's gotten to the point where are we over? I think the passing of the eye test for Jaron Boots Ennis has expired. Right? At this point for me, yes, he's been a champion at 147, but let's be real, let's be honest. We know the 147-pound division. He didn't beat Bud. He didn't beat Spence. He didn't fight Spence. He didn't fight Porter. He didn't fight Thurman. He didn't fight Danny Silva Garcia. He didn't even fight Ugas like Mario. At least Mario Barrios fought Ugas that beat Manny Pacquiao, at least. So let's be real, let's be honest. And I'm not saying that Xander Zayas didn't beat anybody special at 154. Yet at the end of the day, Xander Zayas at the age of 23, I'm not holding him to the fire at age 23. You know what I'm saying? Hey, even at age 23, a guy like Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko. At the age of 23, already Shakur Stevenson was a champion. At age 23, Devin Haney became an undisputed world champion. High, low, he said Teofimo Lopez, the lottery boy. But Xander Zayas, he was willing to fight Virgil Ortiz last year. He was. He did say yes. And now for anybody that felt that Xander Zayas was not serious about it, now you know how serious he was because he doesn't need to fight Boots. He didn't need to pick Boots. He could have got any voluntary bout and people still could have been like, you know what? He's still young. Xander Zayas, in these fighters' eyes, is the weakest link. And that's the reason why Jaron Boots Ennis, in my opinion, and his team picked Xander Zayas. They wasn't all full to jump versus Virgil Ortiz. And I already think they already knew that they had some problems there. They knew that Virgil and his team was not going for it. Now, people are going to be like, all right, let's talk about also concerning the Keith Connolly, Eddie Hearn situation. As we all know, Sufa Boxing just signed Edgar Berlanga, Richardson Hitchens, and we all know the $15 million deal that they signed with Conor Benn. Shout out to Keith Connolly. I've been saying for several years already that Keith Connolly is one of the best managers in the sport of boxing. He was manager of the year 2025. Keith Connolly knows his stuff. He's not a puppet to any promoters. Shout out to Edgar Berlanga. Shout out to Richardson Hitchens, to Brooklyn, New York City, signed with Sufa. Now I know that if Teofimo Lopez did not sign with Sufa at the moment, then I think it's evident that Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan Garcia is going to take place in July in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's just self-explanatory to me, because if Keith Connolly got all his fighters the SUFA deal, and we have yet heard a Teofimo Lopez Teofimo Lopez signing with SUFA, that means that this is deal. I believe that's going to be working with Ring, Golden Boy Promotions and stuff like that, the Zone. I think it's going to be Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez July. What did Ryan Garcia says? July 25th, July 27th, something like that. I think that is going to be the fight. July 25th. That is going to be the fight, ladies and gentlemen. Because we seen the same day. You could see the close. So we could see the same day that Teofimo Lopez, or maybe they already got a deal in place for Teofimo Lopez, but they're gonna get this fight first. You know what I'm saying, with Ryan Garcia. Hold on. So SUFA signed Edgar Berlanga, Richardson Hitchens, Puerto Rican, Brooklyn bred, New York in the building. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good move. Shout out to Keith Connolly. But like I said in one of my recent videos, there's some contradictions going on. Dímelo, good looking out. Appreciate you, my brother Martinez. Appreciate you. God bless you. God bless you. Good looking out on the Cash App, my brother. Good looking out on the Cash App. Appreciate you. Hey, yo, let me tell you. Yo, shout out to Martinez, man. Appreciate you, man, to the fullest. Que Dios te bendiga. Hey, yo, I'm going to tell you the truth, Martinez. I want to be honest with you. That was my first. Hold on. Give me a second. That was my first Cash App donation since 2025 September. So I appreciate you to the fullest, Robert Martinez. Sorry for saying your name, so my fault. But Martinez, gracias, mi hermano. Thank you. That was my first since September of 2025. Any dime is appreciative. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate you to the fullest, man. Appreciate you to the fullest. I've been having this right here, the Cash App donation on the bottom. And como nadie no convoca, nadie no le importa. But thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Fight Fury Films in the building. Fight Fury Films con los 20 pesos a comprar comida china mañana para la familia. Do you think fighters perform better staying on a consistent fight schedule, or when they wait until they feel that the real hunger and motivation? Good looking now, Fight Fury Films, de lo mío. Yo, Fight Fury Films. I think depending where you at, I agree with Eddie Hearn what he said on this one, Fight Fury Films. He was saying that fighters like Canelo, Bud, or whatever, AJ fighting 2 times a year is okay. I think that, you know, guys, like when they reach that type of level and they get used to staying hungry with the money, you know what I'm saying? That it's not even about the money as a job. It's just second nature to them, like how Floyd was. Floyd had all the money, like Manny Pacquiao. People still figuring like why Manny Pacquiao is still fighting. I think these guys know how to turn it off switch it, go on to business, do what they got to do, get their teams ready, get the strength and conditioning coaches, get their thing, get their motor running. You know what I'm saying? Like riding a bike right away. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to even warm up to it. They don't need a warm-up line already. You know what I'm saying? It's already. So, but I do think that younger fighters and even fighters heading to their prime still need a schedule. I think what happened, what happened, Fight Fury Films, is that when you in the amateurs and you in elite amateurs to going on tournaments and things of that nature, you're on a schedule. You're in a diet. You're always in a diet. You always in weight. You're fighting 3 times a week. You're fighting. There's a schedule. There's something to look forward to. I don't think that I think that's the problem. That a lot of these fighters now, they don't even know when they're gonna fight. It's almost they got nothing to look forward to. It's almost like waiting for a job to call you without the interview. It's almost like, don't come to the interview. Don't apply. We know who you are, and just wait for our call. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn. And I think that's how you see fighters ballooning up, and then they get the call. Sometimes these fighters, you know what I'm saying? Like certain Dominican fighters that I know, they've gotten a call. Hey, 9 days notice. ¿Tú quieres la pelea or no? How much? 300,000. Diablo, 200,000. They're already set up to lose because they're already getting that call unprepared because they're not staying ready. It's hard to stay ready. Like people say, you got to stay in the gym, but it's hard for these fighters to stay in the gym ready and getting sparring and putting damage to themselves, not knowing when are they going to fight. You know? So I think they all should be in a schedule. I think they all should be in a schedule. I think that's why Canelo and Floyd Mayweather and all these guys, even when they would have money, they knew. See, Canelo Alvarez, look, I'm going to fight in Cinco de Mayo and I'm going to fight in September. So he knows what he's going to, even if it's just a year plan, he knows when he should go to vacation. He knows how to eat. He knows what to put inside his body. He knows blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And then he's going to prepare, has his mini camp, and then he knows. A lot of these fighters don't know, and that's the problem. But I think that they should always stay motivated and they should always feel hungry because I feel like when, you know, these fighters, you already reach your profession, already getting millions. You know that there's more money on the table. This is your job. Stay motivated. You know, you work your ass off your whole life. A lot of these fighters started when they was not even teens, kids, children, toddlers, bro. Stay motivated. Now you made it. Now you made it. But I did a video early on before I went live, and I said, damn, I like Eddie Hearn. But Eddie Hearn did contradict himself. Eddie Hearn did shoot himself on the foot. Eddie Hearn did contradict hypocrisy. Eddie Hearn said, in today's interview in the kickoff press conference of Jaron Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas, he said that he wouldn't work with Keith Connolly fighter. As we all know, Keith Connolly, the manager of the year 2025, is the manager of Teofimo Lopez, Edgar Berlanga, Richardson Hitchens, and Conor Benn. He said that when Richardson Hitchens in the post-fight interview and stuff like that said he was a free agent, and already Eddie Hearn was talking shit about Keith Connolly, so he felt he never wanted to work with Keith Connolly's fighter. Yet, why, if you wouldn't work with Keith Connolly fighters, why are you so mad that Conor Benn signed with Sufa? No wonder. No wonder. I mean, if there wasn't a communication between you and Conor Benn's manager, and I know that Eddie Hearn wants the direct connection, but in the end of the day, if Conor Benn is paying his manager 15 or 20%, he has a job to do. No, you call my manager. But if Eddie Hearn already feel like he doesn't want to do business with Keith Connolly, guess what? What Keith Connolly is doing? Talking to somebody else for Conor Benn and then getting the Dana White Sufa deal. But why Eddie Hearn is so mad if you are not effing with Keith Connolly fighters? And I think nobody is talking about it. I did the video right away. Nobody is talking about that right now. So I feel like Eddie Hearn contradicted himself. I feel Eddie Hearn, your bitterness and your fight with a manager that's not a puppet to you got you so emotional, you lost track of your treasure. You lost track of the biggest situation for you and Conor Ben and such. This is what he said in a recent interview with Fight Hub TV.
I think it's going to be really interesting what happens with Richardson. We fell out with Keith Connolly, and I said, I'm just not going to work with Keith Connolly fighters. I'm just not going to work with Keith Connolly fighters.
I'm just not going to work with Keith Connolly fighters.
So why was Eddie Hearn so mad? Why was Eddie Hearn so mad that Conor Ben left? What is going on with, and also is, think about this, folks. These promoters have issues with these managers. Oscar De La Hoya got issues with Rick Majorian. Y'all already know Rick is the manager of Virgil Ortiz. What did Oscar De La Hoya say? He would never work with Rick. Eddie Hearn says, I would never work with Keith. But y'all saying that these fighters are signed a manager deal. Look, I said this in the video. When it comes to the Virgil Ortiz situation with the manager and all, and I got a lot of respect for Rick. If y'all follow the channel, y'all already know I got a lot of respect for Rick, Virgil, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Bull Promotions. That situation right there, it was even hard for me to even do a lot of content because they've shown me respect. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the promoters, Oscar De La Hoya DM'd me on the social media, and actually the interview that I had with him, he wanted to have with me. That's like, yo, that to me, if there was any great moment in terms of boxing, content creator, independent media, any, that was like, yo, like, wow. I know for some people out there, they'd be like, so what? I speak to Oscar De La Hoya all the time. For Oscar De La Hoya to hit me up and say, I want to come to your show. I like your show. I think you're funny. And I did the interview with Oscar De La Hoya. I wish I would have had better support, in my opinion, because I think he would have seen that day, that support. He would have been like, yo, this is a new guy. And that's why y'all guys do see me irritated. I'd be happy, I'd be grateful, but irritated at the same time. There's certain times when like I need that support. There's sometimes you want the support, you do the work, but I was promoting that interview for like 3 days. And I think the most people that showed up, I think was 73 people, 79. And while I'm doing the interview with Oscar De La Hoya, see, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm not like these other boxing channels, boxing content creators that doesn't show frustration when they see numbers, they don't see support. No, I'll tell you the truth because I want you to know how I feel about, true support. So when I put it on IG, Twitter, I put it on all social media platform. I kept on talking about it. I'm gonna have this interview with Oscar De La Hoya, And while I'm doing the interview with Oscar De La Hoya, I'm be honest, I'm watching the numbers and I'm like, come on, man, where's the support? Come on, I got Oscar here, bro. Show me love so people could see that when I got somebody, you know what I'm saying? Show me love. And I was grateful, but I was mad at the same time. I was grateful, but I was mad. I feel like, yo, this is the first time I felt like, yo, this community let me down, man. Like that, like after the live, like, yo, I was like, yo, it was like 2 days. I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because I'm thinking like, this is the moment right here. Show me love where y'all at, my people. But if I was talking about another boxing content creator, me going back and forth, I come out and support for bullshit and entertainment. Mr. Moonshine, the Mad Boxing Show. Good looking out, high, low. Gracias de lo mío, que Dios te bendiga. 2 pesos de plátano. Sanco chao. But I did the interview, right? So what I was saying is I respect Oscar De La Hoya. Rick always showed me love, always telling me, yo, you should be on TV, you should do this. Like, so. And Virgil Ortiz Sr. hit me up a long time ago and be like, yo, I don't speak to nobody, but I like what you're doing. I did the video when I said that the WBO politically is moving Virgil Ortiz and snubbing him, right? So I've gotten respect from that side. So it was tough for me to call it out the way that I see it. So when it comes to the Oscar de la Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, and Virgil Ortiz situation, I believe that I side with the Golden Boy Promotions side because I still feel like Virgil Ortiz should have honored his contract. And I do feel that there was another entity trying to offer money to Virgil Ortiz, and that money that was on the table put everybody in fuck Oscar de la Hoya and Golden Boy. Nah. The reason why I could side on this side when it comes to Keith Connolly and Matchroom Boxing and the fighters, I side with Keith Connolly, the manager side, is because Conor Benn, Richardson Hitchens, and Edgar Berlanga were free agents. Why is Eddie Hearn so mad when they're free agents? If you wanted loyalty, if loyalty is what Eddie Hearn is talking about, then why you didn't sign them to a lifetime deal like Most Valuable Promotions, Nakisa and Jake Paul signed Amanda Serrano? That's loyalty, a lifetime. That's loyalty. There is no real authentic loyalty in the sport of boxing. That's bullshit. There's no real authentic loyalty in the sport of boxing. You want me to let you know? Y'all want to know facts why there's no real loyalty in the sport of boxing? Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know facts? And I'm not talking about feelings. Y'all want to know contractual facts why there is no such thing as loyalty in the sport of boxing. Hold on. Give me a second. I got you right here. Only Punch Drunk Boxing got these information because I'm going to tell you like this. Not every 99%. 99, I say 99%. I'm probably the only one. As a matter of fact, I'm the only one in YouTube boxing content creation that shows you exact boxing contracts. You know why? Because you can't show it. Fighters can't show it. But I know what I know. And I got what I got. Right? Because I redline contracts. So this is the reason why there's no such thing as loyalty when it comes to promoter and fighter. Give me a second. I got you right here. Give me a second. I got you right here, folks. Only Punch Drunk Boxing could show you this. Or other people could show you, but they scared. That's how they be like, man, who is this drunk man, bro? That he knows shit. Give me a second. In the part of a contract, there's a part of a contract. Termination. If fighters should not be declared a winner of any contest held during the term of this agreement or any extensions thereof, promoter shall have the right to terminate this agreement by notifying the fighter in writing no later than 45 days following any such contest. Let's read it again. This is part of the promotion and fighters contract. If fighters should not be declared a winner of any contest held during the term of this agreement or any extensions, you already know that if a fighter wins, sometimes when they become a champion within the contract, their contract is automatically extended. Thereof, promoter shall have the right to terminate this agreement by so notifying the fighter in writing in no later than 45 days following any such contest. Take this thing out. Hold on. Ladies, that's the reason. That is the reason, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me school y'all on this. I know this gets boring. Oh, we could talk. This gets boring. Only Punch Drunk. Hey, yo, folks. Only Punch Drunk Boxing could give you these information. So, if y'all want to know the true reason why fighters, when they lock in a deal, they don't right away fight the best fighters. Because I'm going to give you an example. If I signed a multi-fight deal, 3-fight deal, 4-fight deal, I'm going to give you a name. If Bud Crawford, or I'm going to say, let's give it up because he beat everybody, but let's just say, if Shakur Stevenson or Gervonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia signs a 3-fight deal, why would my first fight will be? Let's say if I'm Ryan Garcia, or let's say Devin Haney, if whatever, anybody. Why will my first fight be the toughest fight? If I signed a $16 million deal, if I signed a 3-fight, $15 million deal, why will my first fight be the toughest? You know why? It won't, because I need to secure the whole 15. You understand? So when a Jaron Boots Ennis secured a new multi-fight deal with Matchroom Boxing, his first fight is not going to be no damn Virgil Ortiz. It is not going to be a Fundura. It is not going to be the toughest task. Because then you end up like Subriel Matias, signing a multi-fight deal with Eddie Hearn and losing to Liam Paru, and then you cut off. So this is the reason why you don't see the best fighting the best all the time. Because if you tell a fighter, all right, we assign you a 3-fight deal and your minimums is $3 million, but you're going to get some back end or whatever. If there's pay-per-view events or whatever, pay-per-view fights, that's just your minimum. Why? And I'm due to make my off minimums alone $9 million in 3 fights. We not the manager, the trainer. It's not gonna be like, yo, let's get the toughest task, because if he loses that, then he loses the whole contract. You understand what I'm saying? That's part of that. That's part in contracts. So there's no loyalty in boxing. That's why you hear, man, if a fighter loses, a promoter could easily terminate the contract. So if Richard, you heard what Eddie Hearn said. He said, he held himself in that interview. He said, and it's good that, you know what I'm saying, because we put a lot of money on Virgil, on Richardson Hitchens, meaning they wasn't getting a lot of back out of Richardson Hitchens, but they was paying him good money, right? That's what he was basically saying. When they gave Richardson Hitchens the contract, what was the toughest fights? They're not gonna give Richardson Hitchens right away, DK. Here's Teofimo Lopez. Here's Gary Antoine Russell. Here's this. No. And then when he beats the Amparu, right? That's the extension. So now people saying, oh, Richardson Hitchens pulling out from the fight. Oh, he pulling out from the fight from the Oscar Duarte fight. He pulling out from the fight. He was scared. We all know what it was. His team knew what to do. Pull out from that fight to secure a multi-fight deal. Because if Richardson Hitchens loses this fight with Oscar Duarte without having no promotional and no insurance, then he loses. Even the manager could be like, lo tira para la basura. I think, and I said that, and I said leading up to the fight, that looked like a fight that could have been an upset. That looked like a fight that could have been an upset. That looked like a fight is a business at the end of the day. Facts. That looked like a fight that was going to be an upset. Let's secure this deal. Let's secure a bonus. See, look, Richardson Hitchens probably secured a bonus money with Sufa, and he ain't even had to fight. His bonus is probably just as much as the payday that he was going to get, or at least half of it that he was going to get with Oscar Duarte. If Eddie Hearn said that he was going to get $700,000 to fight Oscar Duarte, his bonus probably was $250,000 to fight with Sufa. I'll take it, wait on it, and get this deal. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's almost like, put it this way. Remember when Maidana pulled out from the fight to fight Keith on Tom Thurman, so he could fight Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is naturally a smaller guy than Maidana. He's not naturally a welterweight. It was an easier fight. If Maidana, more money and more easier fight for that. And look, it led him to a Floyd Mayweather fight. So sometimes people think that fighters pulling out is about fear. It's not about fear. Everything is business. It's business. Teofimo Lopez pulled out a negotiation with Devin Haney. You think that it was fear? These people in the YouTube, oh, he's scared. No, it's not. Now look, Teofimo Lopez locked in a $10 million deal, pay-per-view, Madison Square Garden, right? He lost, but he was going to get way more fighting Shakur Stevenson, pulling out, getting more money, $10 million plus pay-per-view back end, right? Madison Square Garden. Remember that fight was going to be in Saudi Arabia. The Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney for $8 million. So they pulling out for better deals. It's not about fear. And their team is like, yo, do this or say this. And talking about a lot of fighters. These boxing, I'm telling you, is so many ways that the fighter could get effed up, and their contract got these fighters walking on eggshells. Hitchens isn't any good. A punch, trust me, is like when people say Broner was. So that's why he's but a boxing king. That's why they walking on eggshells. If you don't think that he's good, now they gotta walk on eggshells. Secure this deal, secure that deal. You know what I'm saying? Until they get until they get those Canelo payday, until they get, you know what I'm saying? That Gervonta Tank Davis. Xander Zayas, baby, let's fucking go. I think Xander Zayas is gonna surprise. And you know what's the beauty about it in Xander Zayas' position? Whether he does got the belts, I think Xander Zayas is in a win-win situation. And I don't think a lot of people is talking about it because they looking at the belts and they say, well, he can't be in a win-win situation. He could lose the belt. Xander Zayas is 23 years old. Xander Zayas don't have hype. He doesn't have the hype. So he's not losing a hype. He's not losing an aura. And let's not forget that the boxing community was devaluing Xander Zayas at 154 because everybody was saying that, and devaluing Xander Zayas and devaluing the possessions of Xander Zayas because people were saying that the number one fight at 154 is two dudes that don't got a strap. Boots versus Virgil. That's why. That's the reason. That's Boots, in my opinion, is picking Xander Zayas because he thinks he's the weakest link. It's a safer fight. I think that's why. And I think that Boots Ennis may find himself with a rude awakening. He's going to have a rude awakening. He says Xander Zayas is going to be having fat camps. Xander Zayas does look big. He does look, but it's not that he just looked big because Boots Ennis be looking like he's we saw Jaron Boots Ennis when he was in the gym with Canelo Alvarez. He looking like he'd be walking around in 190 pounds as well. There's a reason why people say that he could go to the 168-pound division. So I don't know why he talking about, oh, look at Xander Zayas, how big he is, man. You big too. You a big guy too. You know what I'm saying? But Xander Zayas is growing into a man. He's not that little boy. People are used to seeing Xander Zayas as a teen, as a boy, as a young adult structure. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a great fight. This is a 55-45 Boots. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that Boots have shown that he has his layers are of skill set is better. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I think that Boots is a better all around better fighter, but in terms of who he's done it against and who Xander Zayas done it against, he hasn't fought anybody special. He's looked special, but it got to the point. At this point, it's gotten to the point where passing of the eye test, like I said earlier, the passing of the eye tests have expired. I need to see you now. Do it. Be somebody like Xander Zayas in a special way. Fight Fury Film. It feels like we are in the business era of boxing. It's always been the business era of boxing. I think that the fighters now are more into their business like never before. That's what it is, Fight Fury Films. Back in the days, fighters used to be like, I fight whoever they put in front of me. Fighters ain't read contracts. Fighters let other people. Also, back in the days, these fighters just they just trusted everybody. They was too busy reading contracts. They didn't understand contracts. Just stay in the gym. My team handles it. That's how the fighters used to talk back in the days. I fight whoever they put in front of me. I just fight whoever. I stay in the gym. I let my team handle it. And then after their career, they always blame the team. No, but in actually themselves, see, now this is the era of fighters understanding what they're signing, understanding how to look at how everybody is making money off of them. How much you making money in the arena? How much do you invest? What is the budget of this fight? Fighters don't even know the budget of their own fight. So here's $2 million and this fighter get $1 million and they got the budget and everybody else is making way more money. They don't know nothing about the sponsors, the endorsers, all of that. Now there's promoters and attorneys. You don't see it nowadays. Promoters and attorneys. Managers and attorneys or managers and attorneys. Now there are managers that are not in cahoots with the promoters. And that's why these promoters are getting mad at managers like the Keith Connolly. Managers are mad. That's why they was mad at, that's why they was mad at Al Heyman. Because Al Heyman was not a puppet to the other promoters. Manager and advisor. That's why they was all mad. That's why these promoters are mad with managers. Because, man, these managers are letting the fighters know how much you really worth. They telling the fighter the real money. They telling this is how much they getting, this how much it is, this how much is in the pot, this how much it is. Oh. And then these promoters are getting mad at these managers like, yo, we always going to do business. Why are you telling, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to work with that manager because these promoters can't control these managers. They're not puppets to them. That's why Golden Boy Promotion, they don't like Rick because he's not a puppet to them. See, he could go directly and work with Turkey and do business with Turkey. Keith Connolly could go directly and do business with Dana White, do business with Turkey. I don't need y'all. Every time somebody takes away the middleman, that's when the promoters get mad. The promoters want to be in control, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? That's why people don't like Bill Haney, because Bill Haney could be like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna go to Top Rank. I'm gonna go to Eddie. I'm gonna go to PBC. I'm gonna go to Turkey, and go directly to Turkey." And these promoters don't like it because they losing ground. They was losing ground, especially with Turkey. They was losing ground. That's why when Turkey used to be like, I want to speak directly with their fighters. I want to speak directly with their fighters, all right? But in all actuality, they got representation. They got to bring their manager with them because they're signed to the manager. But good looking now, Fight Fury Films, Colo 20 pesos. Colo 20 pesos, Super Chari Parique. Gracias, Fight Fury Films. Que Dios te bendiga, man. What's the other story? What's the other story? What other story? Shout out to Ben Whitaker, my guy. Ben Whitaker stepping right back in the ring, baby. Let's go. Ben Whitaker, a.k.a. the Cassius Clay of the UK, a.k.a. Benzo, a.k.a. the Surgeon, a.k.a. Show Me the Money. April 18th, Saturday. It's going to be, April is a good day, ladies and gentlemen. I already know April 17th. April 17th, we got Shadeja Green back in the ring and Alicia Baumgartner. You know what I'm saying? That's on a Friday. ESPN, baby. Alicia Baumgartner versus Shin. Let's go. Beautiful lineup. And then on the 18th, we got Ben Whitaker. You already know what May gonna come along. We got David Benavidez versus Sudo Ramirez. Shit. Boxing is heating up, bro. We got this weekend, we got Tyson Fury. This weekend, we got Conor Ben. Also in May, just announced La Reina. Amanda Serrano back in the ring versus Hanson. Han Holmes 2. May 30th, El Paso, Texas. I think I want to go to El Paso, Texas. I've never been to El Paso. I think I want to go to this fight. I like Texas. I love the food in Texas, bro. I like the food, man. There's something about the food in Texas, man. I've never been to El Paso. Where is El Paso, Texas? Hold on, let me see. Where is El Paso? Is it close to San Antonio? Let me see. El Paso, Texas. Where is El Paso, Texas? Let me see the map. Hold on. Damn, that's right there on the border, bro. Damn. That's right there on the border, bro. Far from San Antonio, though. Now, El Paso is right next to Mexico border. Yeah, man. Damn, I want to go over there, man. I might want to go to that fight. I think I want to go to that fight. I actually think I want to go to that fight. Also, I've never been to El Paso. How is El Paso? El Paso is good? Got to be heat at the border. How is it over there? Punch. What about Estrada? He fighting soon with the Asian guy that fought Mayweather. Oh, yeah? Don't worry, Bobby. Trump got the border on lock. How is it out there, though? Like, is the lounge scene good? The club scene, bar scene good? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? I want to know how's the food, because that San Antonio food, man, is the best, bro. I want to know the food out there in El Paso. Man, that San Antonio. Yo, I could taste that San Antonio food, man. He said, ain't shit out there. Nah. It's something out there. That's what people say about when I went to, damn, what was that? Was the shit in Cali? Damn, what was the place in Cali that I went to see a fight? One of the poorest places in Cali. But I want to go to places like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I heard of El Paso, but I want to go to places that, you know, hot as F, dry and high. Yeah, they got no beaches out there, nothing, right? Just pools in a hotel. He said, I know honeys are flying El Paso. Oh, yeah? My boy told me the street races are fire in El Paso. Yeah, I got to go to El Paso then. We out to El Paso, man. We out to El Paso, Texas. What kind of food? It sounds like you talking women. Nah, I'm talking about food. All right, we're talking about real authentic Mexican food. You know, that's why I like the San Antonio food. It's real authentic Mexican food. And I was paying like a Thanksgiving feast for like $13. I remember I said, damn, this is $13 for. Y'all remember they bring me all this food? The appetizer, y'all already got 4 of the appetizers. And the bill came to $13. I said, wow. Damn. And fucking Chipotle shit is $14 over here. And I ain't look over here. No. Man, say, yo, to be honest, folks, I didn't buy Chipotle food ever again. Dos Toros, yes. I'm a Dos Toros guy. But Chipotle, no good. No. And there's a lot of Mexican food out here in New York, but I'm just saying that I just wanted to taste it from the West Coast Mexican food, since they right there on the border, you know. Don't go to Juarez, Mexico, full of Zetas cartel. Ay, no, cartel son mi amigo. We're friends, cartelis. We're friends. Mira, tú vas para Nueva York. Tú me puedes llevar un fentanyl por ahí. O yo te mando, tú coges tus familias, me los mandas para allá, los fentanyls, ¿oíste? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Usted es negro? ¿Qué tú eres? ¿Dominicanos? Oh, sí, ¿de dónde tú eres? De Nueva York. Oh, ¿cómo está? ¿Tú viniste para las peleas? ¿Para ver las mujeres? Sí, Amanda Serrano. Sí. ¿Cuándo tú vas para atrás para Nueva York? No, yeah, I'm going to be here till Sunday night. Tú sabes, en domingo me voy. Dame unos cuentos. Yo te voy a dar algo. ¿Qué tú me vas a dar? ¿Dinero? No. Yo te voy a dar unos paquetes de fentanyl. I know. Yo, you heard what Trump did. You remember what Trump said? That you catch one fentanyl, you're going to be in jail for like 30 years. Tú los vas a coger. Y tú te lo vas a llevar por las nalgas. ¿Oíste? ¿Tú me oyes? Éntratelos en la narga. Ahora se me mito. Éntratelos. Put in your ass, all right? I got so much hair, man. Éntratelos por ahí. Corre entre dos. Ahora esquías por Nueva York. No te vayas en abuelo. Tus guías allá. Y se me lo das en un Juanitos allá en Harlem, Spanish Harlem, ¿oíste? I ain't never gonna go to El Paso again. ¿Y si yo no me lo llevo? If I don't go over there. Si yo no me lo entro en la narga, no me da eso. Éntratelos en la narga ahora mismo. Éntratelos. Yo sé de dónde tú vives y tu familia, es tu chiqui y tus niños. ¡Los matos toditos! He said, Much is waiting for the. That's what they're gonna say to me, bro. Éntrate solo por las nargas, trofétanos, éntratelos si tú vas guiar y esquís para Nueva York, ¿oíste? O tú vas más tus familias, tus mujeres, tus niños. No, nunca lo vas a ver en tu vida. And it shouldn't be like the out of shape, it gotta be the out of shape, small, tiny Mexican telling you this. Danny DeVito Mexican looking like. Ven. Te vamos a pagar. Te vamos a pagar. Te vamos a dar bien chelitos. Pues tú te lo vas a entrar y tú vas a venir para atrás. Yo estaba viendo tu video. Tú dijiste que te gusta la comida de San Antonio. Tú vas a venir para atrás, para San Antonio. Y yo tengo un paquete por ahí para que te lo entres en la larguita. Y tú vas a guiar para Nueva York. Tú vas a ser mi bitch. El pastor of language excellence. Wrong, con los 2 pesos. Yeah, be like, no, los que no es en la nalga. ¡Éntratelos! ¡Coños! ¡Eso es fácil! Coño, éntratelos. ¡Éntratelos! ¡Como un borritos! ¡Éntratelos! Yo. I ain't fucking with no cartel, bro. And motherfuckers, that's what you gotta look out for. You think that the dudes that look non-threatening are the most threatening dudes, bro. The people that look the less threatening. That's the yo, that's what a dude can, yo, my man, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you want a problem with me? Those are the dudes that, yo, for real, those are the dudes that are the least threatening to me, bro. To be honest, these are the dudes that less threatening. Hey, yo, my man, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, anybody fucking with me and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes are the less threatening to me, bro. Those dudes are the least threatening to me, bro. I be laughing when I see dudes that are like over exaggerated tough guys. Huh? Hey, the quiet is the truth. The quiet guy, they gotta look. Huh? The out of shape, all that, that's the dude get the king bam bam, because he don't want to fight. He don't want to fight. He knows he can't whoop nobody. It's the tigre que bing, 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 the right away, and he goes back to across the border. It's the tigre from New York. Mira, señor. Hey, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the bar the other day, and the dude was already, this dude, because I can't be in a place, and there's too much masculine energy. When I'm in a spot and there's way more men than girls, I don't like that. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, my boy, man, let's get out of here, bro. There's too much dude out here, bro. Dude was like, man, motherfucker, Hennessy bottle, $500. Man, just give me just give me my Hennessy bottle, bro. To the dude that's serving him the drink. And I'm saying to my brother, yo, and I'm just looking at like I'm already not uncomfortable, but that's it. I'm not even trying to like. And one chick peeped me and she goes, you looking at these dudes like they corny or something like that. Like what's up with these dudes, right? Some chick just walked there because she like seen me how I'm just staring at dudes now. Now I'm staring at dudes because I don't like the energy that this dude is doing on this other, this is a server that he don't look like a, like a regular server, you know what I'm saying? Like doing his job, don't have like a physical fight weak in his body. He's just doing his job. Hey, yo, what? $500 for Hennessy bottle? Man, just bring me a motherfucking Hennessy bottle. And I'm saying to him, but you're the tigre. Huh? And I feel for real. And I'm like, and I was thinking like, because it's not even my business, but I don't like that, bro. I do not like bullies, bro. I never liked the bullies in my life. My first fight in junior high school, I remember, was because fucking Maurice was bullying my guy Marvin, bro. Had nothing to do with me, bro. But the constant bullying, I don't like it. Those are the fights. The two first fights in junior high school that I can remember, the two first junior high school fights in school in the yard. Was that? Yo, my man, you ain't gonna bully me like you do Marvin, my brother. Hey, yo, what's good? Then he became friends with me. I remember another dude. There was another dude. Yo, this is funny shit. He used to come around. And me, we used to play in the lockup, and we used to like boo people when they come back around. Like if they cool, if a girl looked good or the girl looked right, you know what I'm saying? Oturo bacano. Be like, yeah, boo, way, boo. So this dude comes around and he goes, el que me digan boo, va a tener un problema conmigo. And this guy is like, you know, one of those dudes in school that he got the reputation, right? He's a bad boy, fight everybody, right? So he came around. He go, el que me digan boo, tú verás lo que le voy a hacer. Like the Dominican dude just straight off DR, probably had like 2-3 years, right? So me being me, people stay shut because he already have a reputation, always fighting and stuff like that. I said, boo! I got to think, what was the guy talking about? Thinking, whoever say boo, I said, I ain't no tough guy, but I've just always been like this comedic type of dude that is always like going pushing people's buttons. I said, boo! He said, "Tú me dijiste boo a mí. Tú me dijiste boo." Yeah, we went there on a scuffle and shit like that. Yo, to this day, yo, me and my peoples crack up to this day. Like, yo, you remember that time about the boo? When I say boo. No, I don't like bullies, bro. I don't like bullies, man. I don't like bullies, man. They tick me off. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's more fights to talk about, more fights to break down. Tomorrow we at it back. Gonna go a little bit early. 7. We're going back 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, the kids have a little party. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, Autistic Month. Shout out to all my autistic people. You already know my son is autistic, so you know I have a soft spot for my autistic family, my autistic people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Autistic Month. You know, and God bless you and your children. If one of them does have it, or anybody in your family does have it, you know what I'm saying? God bless all everybody autistic and stuff like that, and in whichever spectrum y'all in or levels. Love y'all. Tomorrow we back at it, 7:30 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. Love you. God bless, and on to the next.